We've got lots to cover on today's current events panel. We'll start by discussing what seems to be a regular occurrence lately in the West of people ripping down posters of Israeli hostages. We'll discuss one Ontario City Councillor suspension for trying to put forward seemingly controversial motions. We'll cover a federal bill introduced that, if passed, would quash the oath to the king. We'll discuss the role of military chaplains and if that role will still exist, given a new Department of Defense policy. And we'll hear of a new use for drones transporting specimens from health labs. Good or bad? Who knows? Let's get right through it. And joining me now to discuss his opinions is Mike Patton, political commentator. And of course, we have Michelle Simard, lawyer, privacy and cybersecurity specialist. Michelle, Mike, thank you so much. And before we dive right in, Michelle, what's going on here? I see you have Mickey Mouse.
Yes, we're in we were in Florida, and I just got caught, and I had to do this. So here I am. I wanted to be in my resort, better dressed, but this is what it is. So I'm here to chat.
Excellent. Well, we'll move right on, but now I understand what's going on. So that's great. Okay, let's start with a very serious issue. And we've all seen video footage, not just in North America, but in Europe as well, where protesters, seemingly pro-Palestinian, one would assume protesters, are ripping down, or not even protests, people going about their business in the day, and they see a poster of a loved one that has been taken hostage from the Israel invasion that happened. And it's removed. They're ripped down. People sometimes on their way to work just ripping down these posters. I find it quite jarring. Mike, why don't you start us off? What's going on here?
Tanya, there's so much about this I don't understand. All the topics today. Can you imagine a scenario by which people are taken hostage by terrorists? There are posters put up with their faces on it, and anybody is tearing them down. It's so unbelievable. And I never thought, while there's always been anti-Semitism in Canada, I had no idea it really was to the extent where people would feel comfortable tearing down posters of Jewish hostages that are being held by Hamas.
Yeah, it's quite shocking. Michelle, you and I chatted about this last week. How do you make heads or tails out of it? It just seems so bizarre.
It is, but I think really what the issue is a confluence of events, and people have now conflated some of the issues. And what the real issue is that there was an unprovoked attack. Israel is responding. There are still hostages, and people are conflating what the issues are. And there's a lot of misinformation and disinformation out there. So people are just running with scissors sometimes on what they believe they're doing the right thing, but they're not. As you can see from some of the videos online from like London to United States, people say, don't you care about humans? They're like, I do care about humans, but this is my cause. So that's the problem.
Now, I know there seems to be a movement or some action to cancel, I guess you could say. I know some of the, youth protesters or students in bigger capacities on university campus to cancel some of these pro-Palestinian and in some cases pro-Hamas protests, or cancel these voices, which I'm not a fan of canceling. I don't care which side of the aisle it falls on. This seems to be beyond that. Again, this is not a war protest. These are somebody's loved ones missing, and they've put a poster up. Now, granted, it's thousands of kilometers away. I suppose, yes, having a poster in North America is not necessarily going to help locate that hostage. However, it's an emotional gesture. Somebody is really hurt and they want people to remember. Why is that so shocking, Mike?
Well, it's shocking for a whole host of reasons, because again, no one is saying that the individuals who were taken hostage were doing anything wrong at the time. These are civilians that were taken hostage. So it's unfathomable it's beyond comprehension to understand why people would be so upset on the other side in favor of Palestinians that they're saying, listen, it's every bit as reasonable to say we should punish innocent Israelis or Jews as it is that we should punish innocent Israelis or Palestinians who might be Muslim. They're trying to say it's the same thing, and it doesn't work that way.
Yeah, and I appreciate, again, there's a lot of emotions riding high in this conflict, escalating very quickly, like within hours. We're going to pick this up in just a few moments when we return from our break.